think of an extraordinary power. Man-made mountains. Bodies preserved in time. This is the story of one of the mightiest and most ruthless warriors history has ever seen. The first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. Even a movie couldn't fully capture his life. His tomb was designed as a massive palace. The ceiling is covered in stars, and there are literal rivers of flowing mercury representing the oceans. It creates a stunning spectacle, but it's a dark one. Those who were different, like his dozens of concubines, were forced to commit suicide by poison. Today, their bones are being found alongside their special silks and jewelry. But what really made this tomb famous is what archaeologists found while they were still excavating. They discovered a section that proved to be the largest part of the complex, revealing a sight that defies imagination: the Terracotta Army. Over 8,000 clay soldiers, each with a unique face and height, standing in formation to serve the emperor in the afterlife. There were even clay musicians and jesters meant to entertain Qin in his eternal sleep, found with their instruments, horses, and weapons. This place is considered the largest tomb complex in the world. Its construction involved 700,000 workers and over 500,000 soldiers. But there's a secret about this tomb that isn't easy for the human soul to bear. It wasn't just built with construction materials. Hundreds of workers who died from heavy labor and exhaustion were simply used as building material. They became a part of the tomb itself. Qin's life was a struggle from the moment he was a 13-year-old boy. His first disaster happened when a man sneaked into the palace in disguise and tried to stage a coup against him. But Qin was ready. He crushed the rebellion. He had the man and his mother's lover tied to horses to have their limbs torn off while they were still alive. He buried the families involved alive and locked his mother in a palace she would never leave. After proving his authority to his own army and people, he had one goal: bringing the other 6 kingdoms under one roof. He raised an army of over 1 million men, the largest the ancient world had ever seen. But an army wasn't enough. He had to feed these people and turn them into a disciplined force. One by one, the kingdoms fell. When the kingdom of Yan realized they were losing, they tried a different approach. They sent an envoy for a peace meeting. The envoy opened a map to show the land they were surrendering, but he pulled out a hidden dagger and lunged at Qin. Luckily, Qin was a good soldier. He dodged the blade with his cape and killed the assassin with his sword. He then gave a brutal order: ravage the Yan lands, kill all their rulers, and execute anyone who tries to flee, along with their families. Around those days, a famous musician who was a close friend of the assassin swore to take revenge. He sneaked into a palace performance, planning to kill Qin to avenge his friend. But a guard caught him. However, the emperor was so impressed by his talent that he allowed him to stay, though he remained extremely cautious. Finally, the land was unified under one flag. This is where the name China comes from. It's derived from the name Qin. He had become the first emperor, but to make them one nation, more. He standardized the Chinese alphabet, the calendar, weights, measures, and even the width of chariot axles so they could use the same roads. He divided the empire into 36 provinces and established a system of governors. Even though he was a tyrant, he valued merit. He invited scientists and even his former enemies to lead his projects. Qin was an interesting man. He once noticed that rats in a toilet were thin and scared, while rats in a barn were fat and happy. He realized that a person's value isn't just about who they are, but about their environment. This philosophy led him to work with a man named Li Si, who served as his prime minister. One of his greatest projects was a massive irrigation system that quintupled China's agricultural output. But the empire still had a major problem: the Turks and Mongols. These children of the steppe were fast, fierce, and masters of the horse and bow. Traditional Chinese soldiers couldn't stop them. There's a sad poem from a Chinese princess sent to marry one of them, describing her life in a round tent and her longing for home. Qin couldn't stop them with just soldiers, so he planned the impossible: the Great Wall. He connected old walls and built a massive fortification with the blood of 1 million workers. Build and move on was the order. The wall had 10,000 towers for signaling. A single flag meant 5,000 enemies were coming. Many workers died from the brutal conditions and were buried inside the walls. To create psychological pressure, captured enemies were sometimes thrown off the walls or fired back using catapults. But Qin had another obsession: immortality. He felt like a god and wanted to live forever. He brought alchemists from all over to find the elixir of life. When some failed, he buried them alive to prove his power. He also started drinking potions containing mercury, which slowly poisoned him. He even burned the books of Confucius and buried scholars alive to crush any ideas that challenged his authority, replacing them with legalism, strict central rule. One day, a meteorite fell. He saw it as a bad omen and had everyone in the area killed, then had the stone ground into dust. By 210 BC, the mercury had finally taken its toll. He died at the age of 49. He created a nation that changed the world forever, but he used the lives of nearly 10 million people to do it. He was Qin Shi Huang, history's most cruel yet greatest ruler.